child, I often stood in front of shop windows and tried to stand as still as the mannequins. When I got bored, I claimed that one of the mannequins had blinked and declared myself the winner. That was close. I wonder what the Baroness is running away from. Loneliness? Disappointment? Grief? I've copied the hints into my diary. Maybe someone on board can help me to figure out at least 3 of the 4 symbols. The door is locked. I have to find the right combination to get in. To me, it looks like a combination lock. A good one, too. The door only opens when the right symbols are in place. Maybe it was a steward who checked whether everything was ready for the Baroness's nightly rest. Whoever it was, I should leave as fast as possible before someone comes back. What on earth is going on here? I don't like that. Is someone else after the eye as well? But even if that is the case, what does the audio tape have to do with it? I can't let it get to me. I have a job to do. It seems like Dr. Gebhardt was able to wrestle himself away from his work, but he still doesn't seem to be very relaxed. Quite the opposite. And why won't he go to the saloon? Dr. Gebhardt! Getting some fresh air?
Oh, you could say that?
Do you know the Egyptian queen, Nefertiti?
Yes. There is a famous bust of her.
Really? Tell me more.
No, I am sorry. I do not have time for that.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Now listen, young lady, I do not know what they told you, but just because I am German, I am not responsible for the crimes of my government.
Crimes? What are you talking about?
We obeyed orders, just like everybody else. Now leave me alone.
Do you know what the monogram AD stands for?
What?
A capital A with a small d below it.
Yes, I do. Will you leave me alone if I tell you what it means?
You know.
It is not just any monogram. It is the first. Albrecht Dürer, a German artist, signed all his works with it. He was the first artist to sign all of his work with a monogram. It was not common to do so before then.
Are you sure?
His wooden engravings were, and still are, printed billions of times in Germany.
Billions of times? You're exaggerating.
Not at all. His work appears on German marks.
And what?
That's enough. I told you what you wanted to know. Please, leave me alone now.
Adil,
In the shower.
I found the secret compartment.
Oh, brilliant! And the jewel?
I'm working on it. Adil,
Yes?
I almost got caught in the Baroness's cabin.
What happened?
I don't know. A man came in and I just had time to hide under the bed
Maybe it was a steward who came to clean the cabin?
and turn on a tape recorder in the cupboard.
Huh. Maybe it was Inch. He wanted some music?
There was nothing on the tape. It was playing, but I didn't hear anything. Something is rotten here.
Don't bother your pretty little head about it. Swap the eye and hurry back. I've got a surprise for you.
I don't think your surprise will really surprise me. The secret compartment is secured with a combination lock.
Is there any way in?
Not without leaving evidence. I need the combination.
Are there any hints?
A memory aid consisting of several works of art. There are animals on the lock.
The works of art might hint at specific animals.
Yes, I think so too. About the combination,
Yes?
does Nefertiti mean anything to you?
An Egyptian queen?
That's it?
I didn't have an affair with her, if that's what you mean. She's not my type, and she's been dead for thousands of years.
Well then, I'll take your word for it. Guernica. Sounds Spanish, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a city in the Basque region.
Does it have a heraldic animal? Or maybe the region has one?
I don't know. I've never been there. I just know it because the city was bombed by the Nazis during the Spanish Civil War.
Nazis? In the Spanish Civil War?
Well, not officially, of course. At the request of General Franco, his friends from Germany reduced a defenseless city to ashes and rubble. Picasso immortalized the bombing in his famous painting.
Really? Is it on display in Spain?
Silly. As long as Franco is in charge, he won't allow that.
Where is it?
Oh, no idea. Paris, maybe? Picasso lived there for a long time.
Maybe doesn't help me much. Buonarroti's Adam. Who's that?
Buonarroti, seems familiar somehow.
To me as well, but I don't know why.
No, I have no idea. I don't know him.
Someone must. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
Dr. Gebhardt?
Yes?
Have you ever heard of a Picasso?
That's enough. I am saying this as politely as I can. Please leave me alone now. We can discuss these unimportant things tomorrow, if it is really necessary.
Buonarroti.
No idea. Don't know him.
But
Try your luck somewhere else and leave me alone, please. Thank you.
I ought to be going.
Thank God.
Maybe the art magazine will help me with the symbols. Indeed. An article about the different works of art and how they survived the Second World War. And there's also a picture of the bust of Nefertiti. The unique Egyptian work of art was 1913. Permission to export to Germany. Second World War. Safe at the Reich Bank. Then a bunker. And then a salt mine. Prevented from shipping the bust to the United States. Back in Berlin since 1956. Very glad, blah, blah, blah. Soon in the Egyptian Museum of Berlin and hopefully someday in a reunified Berlin on the Museum Island. Okay, so the bust of Nefertiti is located in Berlin. Berlin. The bear! The Berlin Bear! There's a bear on Berlin's coat of arms. Nefertiti, bear. That's it! I have to find out where the other works of art are located and which animals are associated with those cities. Now I know what to look for. It'll be child's play. The bust of Nefertiti is in Berlin. Berlin Bear. That works. Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
It must be exciting to meet all the world's famous and powerful people.
I stay away as far as possible from high society. Too shallow. Too boring.
But some of them must be exciting. Have you ever met Picasso?
They told him he's a genius so often that he actually started to believe it himself.
But his paintings are impressive. Guernica, for example.
Well, it certainly is big. I have to give him that.
Didn't he have to flee from Spain?
Yes, from the fascists, but not just him. Many of his paintings as well. If I remember correctly, Guernica is currently on display in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. He bequeathed it to a future Spanish republic.
And until then it stays in New York?
Yes. It's been there for years now.
Have you ever been to New York?
For the love of God, what would I do there? We have the original York in England. That's quite enough for me.
So, you don't know the heraldic animal of New York?
No, probably an eagle. It's all eagles over there.
Are you interested in art?
Not really. I'm more interested in real life, in people.
So, you don't know Albrecht Dürer?
Just because I'm not interested in art doesn't mean that I'm ignorant.
What can you tell me about him?
Books, my dear, books. In them, you'll find the answers to all your questions, even the most foolish ones.
I bet you don't know anything about him and you just want to cover it up.
Ah, you want to appeal to my honor. Too obvious, I'm afraid.
I saw a sign in Venice. It said Buonarroti. Do you know what it means?
I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian.
May I take my leave?
You may.
The lady is not a fan of shallow conversation, which I respect. I shouldn't talk to her unless I have something serious to say. He's sweating profusely. Burst capillaries and a sweet odor. I hope the crew doesn't take the captain for a role model, and that they stay sober for the rest of the trip. Hello, Captain DeCanti.
Miss Myers, how nice to see you. You look beautiful. We missed you at dinner.
I was in my cabin. I didn't feel very well.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better.
Lovely concert, wasn't it?
You only heard the end. It was really wonderful.
All the more curious that Lady Westmacott embarrassed Mr. Kreutzer like that, don't you think?
I have no idea what got into her. They say she's a difficult person, but maybe it's the privilege of famous people to be a bit strange from time to time. When I was still a young sailor, Enrico Caruso was a passenger on our ship, and he...
I think she's fascinating. She's achieved so much, and all by herself.
Lady Westmacott, oh yes, that's true. The most successful writer in the world.
Do you know any more about her?
Everything. I'm her biggest fan. What do you want to know?
Where is she from? Who were her parents?
Her father was a wealthy British salesman. Her mother died in childbirth. She had an outstanding education, but was a lonely child, they say. Her father was away on business most of the time.
I know how she feels. For many years, my father's career was also more important than me.
Don't say that, my child. Your father paid for the life you now live.
Did Lady Westmacott's father marry again?
Yes, a woman 15 years his junior. She didn't really care for the child. She was something of a high society lady. She made the headlines with her antics more often than the family would have liked.
And her novels. How did she come to be a writer?
In interviews, she always mentions her French tutor, who encouraged her to write when she was a child. After some poems and short stories, she began to write detective novels with great success. The rest is history. The experts are arguing whether she or Shakespeare has sold more books.
Although she doesn't receive the same deference.
That's true. But her books are much more innovative and extraordinary than people generally give her credit for.
And what does an elderly lady like her want in Egypt?
I couldn't really say. She was there many times with her husband, an archaeologist. He died a long time ago.
I heard something about a reception at the Egyptian Museum?
Yes, for the eyes of the Sphinx. Or rather, for the eye. But I don't think she'd go to Cairo just for that. She usually stays away from official events. Didn't participate in the literary scene either. Always stayed as far away as possible from high society. Probably because of her stepmother.
Is it true that you're a war hero?
Mm-hmm. In 2 world wars. That tells you how old I must be.
You're as old as you feel.
Oh God, I hope not.
Aren't you feeling well?
You shouldn't burden your pretty little head with the dark thoughts of an old man, my dear.
If you don't feel well, maybe you should take it easy.
I'm afraid if I take it easy, it'll kill me.
You seem to be a pessimist.
Fatty liver, asthma, gallstones, jaundice, gout, shingles, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, circulatory trouble, knee problems, pulmonary embolism, gastritis, migraine, neuralgia, tinnitus, rheumatism, pleurisy, thrombosis, and constipation. Those are what's been diagnosed so far. My body is a curse.
Oh, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry.
Forgive an old man. I didn't mean to shock you.
You're still the captain of this beautiful ship.
They couldn't just get rid of me, so they stuck me somewhere where I can't make trouble anymore.
Don't say that.
This ship runs fine without me. The crew knows what to do. They don't need me. They don't want me.
Captain!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm burdening you with all of this. Forgive me, eh? I'd like to rest for a while. Soon enough, it'll be time to head back to the coalface.
Captain DeConti,
Yes?
an old seaman like you must surely have been to New York, right?
Aye, aye. My usual territory is the Mediterranean, but I've crossed the Atlantic many times. It's always a great moment when the Statue of Liberty appears on the horizon.
You wouldn't happen to know the heraldic animal of New York.
No. Maybe an eagle?
Do you know Albrecht Dürer?
Yes, an artist. Not bad. But he has his weaknesses as well.
For example?
For one, he wasn't Italian.
That's a pity.
You can say that again. At least he lived in Italy for a while.
What else can you tell me about him?
I once overheard an argument on board between a German and a Spaniard about who elevated the woodcut to an art form, Albrecht Dürer or Alberto Durero. Eventually, they realized they were talking about the same man. Ha!
Albrecht Dürer is called Alberto Durero in Spain?
That's right. Don't ask me why.
Buonarroti. That sounds Italian, doesn't it?
Ha! You can say that again. Buonarroti is the name of the greatest artist of all time, Michelangelo Buonarroti, who most people only know by his first name. Just imagine, one man, an Italian, achieves perfection in all three movements of graphic arts. His David is the most famous statue in the world. As an architect, he was a genius. He built parts of St. Peter's Basilica.
And as a painter, Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
The creation of Adam. The spark of life leaps from God to Adam. One of the most famous paintings in the world.
Yes, it is. Does Vatican City have an animal on its coat of arms?
No.
And the Pope?
Every pope has his own emblem, but the new one doesn't have an animal.
You don't seem to like the new Pope.
It's too early to say. But who's fit to hold a candle to John the 23rd? Il Papa Buono, as we used to call him. The good Pope.
He just died recently. What was his heraldic animal?
He was a lion, and so was his heraldic animal.
For a Catholic, Buonarroti's Adam could be a mnemonic for the lion. Pope John XXIII was elected in the Sistine Chapel like every other pope. I just need one more animal. I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
I don't know why, but people just seem to open up to me. Is that a blessing or a curse? It must be horrible to look back bitterly at the end of one's life, especially if it could have been a great life. The lady is not a fan. I shouldn't... A deal?
Yes?
About the combination.
Yes.
Guernica hangs in New York.
Okay.
Do you know what the heraldic animal of New York is?
An eagle? It's all eagles over there.
That's the second time I've heard that. But no, it can't be an eagle. Alberto Durero.
What about him?
What's his most famous work?
Hard to say. He did a lot. He was a pioneer of woodcuts and printmaking.
The Baroness left his monogram as a hint, not the name of one of his artworks. So there must be a painting that everyone associates with him.
Not to my knowledge. although he did have a favorite motif.
And that was...
Oh, himself. He made quite a few self-portraits.
That's it. The artist is the art.
Sounds logical. His most famous self-portrait is in the Prado in Madrid. I saw it with my own eyes 2 years ago.
Does Madrid have something like a heraldic animal?
Sure, it's a bear. It's on the coat of arms and all over the city.
A bear again? Like in Berlin?
Why not? The same numbers appear more than once on normal combination locks.
That's true. The bear then. That's it! 3 animals are all I need. I can guess the 4th. But I could try to find the 4th symbol anyway, just to be sure. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.
Dr. Gebhardt?
Yes?
I was talking to the captain. He didn't look well. Is he sick?
I am sure you will understand that I cannot discuss the medical history of one of my patients with you.
Why? Do you think I'm too stupid?
I didn't mean that. It is a matter of confidentiality.
I asked whether the captain is ill and you called him one of my patients. Haven't you already answered my question?
What do you want?
I ought to be going.
Thank God.
The doctor is upstairs. He probably locked the door. Yes.
Baroness von Tribitz? Are you okay? Hello? Baroness? Hello?
Adil,
What happened?
the Baroness. Blood everywhere.
But who?
I don't know. Inch?
That doesn't make any sense.
Don't move. Zellner, up here. We've got our shuttle. How are you?
I do nothing. Me crew.
Sure you are. What are you doing here?
Just fresh air.
Sure. You just wanted to get a breath of fresh air. Zellner, look who we have here.
Well, if that's not our shadow.
And our stowaway.
Were you recently traveling via trunk?
Nothing.
He claims to be part of the crew. Just wanted to get some fresh air.
Oh, sure. And you obviously didn't attack me either, did you?
The Baroness won't open her door, sir.
Understood. Take him to the detention cell, Robert. We'll talk later, my friend.
What is? Did nothing.
Inspector Legrand thinks otherwise. Move!
But I have... Gunshot!
I know that! Get moving! Into the cell!
Ah! It wasn't my fault.
What wasn't your fault? That you were walking around the ship? That you let them catch you? That you endangered the whole plan? You endangered me.
I shouldn't have gone out. That was a mistake. Why won't you answer?
I'm having a conversation that you cannot hear.
What happened last night?
The Baroness was murdered.
Did you?
No. If it were up to me, she'd have had an accident in a couple of weeks. Instead, someone shot the old bat in the heart point blank.
Are we calling it off?
No. Mr. X is ready, and as her surviving representative, I should be able to move about freely in the museum. The old hag's death doesn't change anything.
How did you get in here?
I'm more than capable of finding the entrance to a cargo hold. Indeed, it was child's play. It's not as though I had to crawl through ventilation shafts or anything so gauche.
So, what do we do now? I could escape, and...
swim to Cairo.
So, I stay here and wait?
They'll arrest you in Cairo and question you about the murder. Even if they don't throw you in jail, it'll take days.
And if we find the murderer, then they'd have no reason to hold me.
Oh, I'm one step ahead of you.
Nervous? I would be if I were you.
This Zellner chap wasn't part of the plan. I don't like it.
He's groping about in the dark. Legrand is the real problem.
Still, I'm going to take him out of the picture.
How?
Dr. Gebhardt killed the Baroness. A clever old man, but not clever enough to keep me from finding out.
So you just have to tip Legrand off, and then I'm as good as free.
That's what I thought at first, but then I thought, why waste the opportunity? I put Zellner on the trail of the good doctor. He'll drive Gebhardt into a corner, and when he lashes out in desperation, he might hit our Swiss friend. Maybe even Legrand, if we're really lucky.
You can't do that. The old fella's just doing his job.
And so am I.
Inch, enough blood has been shed. Inch, no more deaths. Damn! I have to get out of here and warn Constable Zellner. I didn't sleep a wink last night. All I could think of was Alex. It's terrible not knowing what happened. The blanket got caught on the nail. A board and a nail. I guess this cage is some kind of detention cell for the crew. It's not the most impregnable prison in the world, but it's still a problem. Lock looks pretty modern. Needs a small key, 5 pins. I could pick it with the right tools. They're really spoiling me with this cup of metallic-tasting water. If I'm really lucky, they'll toss me a few crumbs of bread. Like everything else on this ship, the bars and hinges are showing their age, but they're still much too strong for me to kick the door open. I think it's working. Ha! One down. I'll hang it back on the frame, and if I'm lucky, no one will notice my escape. Fire still poses a great threat to ships. There are fire alarms, extinguishers, and hoses everywhere nowadays. These hoses are pretty versatile. They'll do at a pinch if you can't smuggle climbing ropes into the building you're planning to rob. Before I went to London to become Inch's protege, Alex and I drove through the French Riviera in this convertible. It was a wonderful week, and on the cliffs near Toulon, I asked her to marry me. But this is no time for reminiscing. A ring set into the floor. You could attach ropes or chains to it. It's set into the floor to keep people from tripping over it. The crane is for moving cargo from A to B within the ship. The big cranes in the harbor can't reach the corners of the cargo hold. What's this? Whoa, heavy. Everything's a bit bigger and heavier on a ship, pulleys included. I can't reach the hook. The crane is for moving. And now? There's no room for the hose if the pulley is on the hook. I don't think that was the solution to the puzzle. I tied the hose to the hook. I tied the hose. And now? No, that won't work. The hose is too wide. That's not going to get me anywhere. I tied the hose to the hook. That's not going to get me anywhere. I tied the hose. A ring set into the floor. You could attach ropes or chains to it. It's set into the floor to keep people from tripping over it. sure the crane still works. I don't have time to play around. I'm sure the crane... What's that up there? A grate. Sunlight's shining through it. And above it, a bent pipe. This could be my way out. The bars are welded at 4 points, and unfortunately they're not all as rusty as this one. I'm sure the crane... Here goes nothing. Louder than I expected. I hope no one noticed. With luck, I'll be able to warn the others about the doctor before it's too late. No! Ugh! Hey, you all right? That bastard didn't inject the fatal dose. You'll be back on your feet soon enough.
But...
Better take it easy while I... Oh, no! I'll be right back. I can see Legrand in the saloon. I don't think Gebhardt would have gone there. Where are you? No!
Why can't you just leave me alone? Stay there.
Just relax.
Why can't you just leave me alone? It is always the same old story.
Is that why you killed her? Was the Baroness part of your old stories?
She was her sister. I loved her. With all my heart. They were Jewish, you know? But I didn't care about that. I hid them when it became dangerous for them. I looked after them. I brought them food. I was a party member. And still, I hid her and her whole family.
You risked your life for a woman you loved. And 30 years later, you murder her sister?
I saw her swollen belly. I was so angry. He was one of them, you know? They just used me. I hid them, brought them food, and in return they laughed about me behind my back.
What did you do?
There are Jews hiding in the basement of the Waldhof. Armed Jews. We have to burn them out. And that's what they did.
You had the whole family killed?
I am a gentleman. And I expect that others... that they don't...
She didn't love you and was expecting a child by another man. And that's why you betrayed her.
It was her fault. She shouldn't have cheated on me. I saved her. I risked my life for her every day for 4 months.
And then you threw it all away and became a murderer.
I am not. I am...
Yeah, well, the dead Baroness in the ship's hold proves the opposite.
I had never met her. Back in East Prussia, she was the older sister, the smart sister. She studied art history in New York, tried to get her family out of East Prussia, but I was able to prevent that.
You say you loved her, and yet you wanted to deny her and her family a safe life.
They were safe. I protected them. It was for their sake that I joined the party. I had contacts. I wrapped them in my protective embrace.
You didn't let her escape because you wanted to keep her close to you.
She sent photos to her sister before the war. She must have recognized me yesterday in Venice. I certainly recognized her.
The Baroness was searching through her photos. That's true.
She couldn't get me during the war. And after the war, I disappeared. Gave myself a new name, a new resume, a new life. And then, suddenly, there she was. About to ruin everything.
So, she had to die.
I didn't want that. But she gave me no choice. Why did she have to stir up old ghosts?
All right now.
No. It ends. Here and now.
Why do you want to kill yourself?
Isn't it obvious? He can't bear his false, hollow life anymore.
Who are you? What do you want?
A man who understands etiquette and honor, and yet is nothing but a coward himself, who, because of wounded vanity, burdens himself with immense guilt.
Don't come any closer.
The Baroness held a mirror up to you, didn't she, Doctor? And you hated what you saw there. So you smashed the mirror. But the sins of the past are catching up with you now, aren't they?
No.
A scowl with empty eyes full of fear.
Stop it.
Oh dear, you really know how to dampen the mood. I almost had him. And you? Aren't you supposed to follow orders? Are you not here to assist me?
I won't.
That wasn't a question.
I don't want any dead bodies, but I don't understand why you're doing this.
You don't have to. Watch and learn.
No!
No. What is it then? You wanted to jump anyway, or you should at least.
Inch?
I'm just lending a friendly hand. He's a coward. He needs a bit of motivation. Come on now, chop, jump.
You are the Baroness's butler, aren't you? I did not want to kill your mistress.
Oh, nonsense. Forgiven and forgotten, if you don't mind my asking.
There must be another solution.
Why are you doing this?
Nothing personal. Well, that's not entirely true. You're a miserable excuse for a human being, aren't you? But mainly you're a means to an end. Your death will get Inspector Legrand off our backs.
The inspector? What do I have to do with him?
Your letter. The one in which you confess to being the Raven and to killing the Baroness because she saw through your ruse.
That's absurd.
Indeed it is. But people will believe almost anything if it suits them. The press will love it. Bold Inspector Legrand saves the day again. Interviews, medals, urgent telegrams from the capital. Our dear friend won't be able to escape the limelight, and by the time the commotion has ended, I'll be long gone.
We have no alternative. He's a witness, and we'll both wind up in prison if we let him go.
I didn't expect such clear thinking from you.
All the same, we're not going to kill him.
Here we go again.
You got us into this situation, and as long as I'm alive, I won't let anyone be killed in my presence.
No.
You can't kill both of us.
Oh, I think you'll find I can.
I have to do the dirty work for you in the museum, so you won't be shooting me, or him.
Very well, you win.
What?
Never speak to me like that again. Do you understand? I need you to steal the eye, but one day I could be overwhelmed by a feeling of hatred that will make me forget the eye. And there are worse things I could do than simply shoot you. I suggest you go back to your cell. You need to be fit for Cairo. I still have a confession to write.
The last act. The end of the Raven. Part of me wants to abandon the whole plan and go back to Europe. What if something goes wrong and Legrand catches on? I couldn't bear it if something happened to her. I can't afford to slip up.
Mr. Jamal, I'm glad you could make it.
Let's get this over with.
Still angry on account of the good doctor?
You disgust me.
You'll be rid of me in less than 2 hours, and I of you.
What happens next?
My diversion worked wonderfully. The press has laid siege to the French embassy, and Legrand won't be able to escape them. He should arrive in a few minutes with the safe, and then he'll have to answer ridiculous questions from reporters all afternoon.
That's why we're striking now.
A regrettable necessity. I would have preferred to make my grand entrance this evening at the gala. But yes, we will strike as soon as the safe is in the treasure chamber and Legrand has left.
Have you already met your Mr. X?
He's counting an envelope of unmarked bills as we speak. He put the blueprints under the statue of Imhotep.
Blueprints.
A sketch of the museum, not the kind you can get just anywhere. This one shows secret entrances, basements, and attic rooms that the Resistance used during the war.
That's what it was about.
Get the blueprints. There's a basement below the treasure chamber. The entrance should be marked on the blueprints. Open it and give me a sign.
What's the next step?
You'll find out when it's time.
But... will there be more deaths here in the museum?
If you follow my instructions, no.
If people are in danger, I'll call the whole thing off.
I don't kill for fun, only when it's necessary.
Is it ever really necessary?
Sometimes. Revenge, for example, when one has been betrayed.
All right then, I'll pay a visit to Imhotep and we'll meet in the basement.
Good monkey. Oh, and by the way, the museum is closed to visitors until tomorrow.
Then how...
You'll find a way.
I have to improvise if I want to get into the museum. Oh, nothing. Do I need an umbrella in Cairo? Or could it help me get into the museum? A rod like that could be useful. I could probably reach the door lock with the rod, but how's it supposed to catch hold? I could probably... There's a tennis ball stuck on the tow hitch. Ah, people do that to protect the hitch and their trouser legs from the grease. Got it! Maybe I can fish something out of the sewer with the wire. Nothing. I can't even touch the bottom. It was worth a try. Today, the museum is officially closed for preparations for the big Eye of the Sphinx exhibit. Who's a good dog? Yeah, who's a good dog then? I like dogs. I had a border collie back home. Followed me everywhere. He was very old, but the most loyal friend you could wish for. Yes, that might be just the thing. You want it? Yeah, you like that, don't ya?
The museum is closed today. Come back tomorrow.
But there are visitors in the museum.
Carefully selected by Director Mokhtar. Or they have an invitation.
Is there any chance of getting such an invitation?
For you? No.
Can you please let me in? My ship sails tonight, and I can't leave Egypt without having seen a mummy.
Get yourself a shovel and head for the desert. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Never mind. See you later.
Better luck next time, huh?
You're too kind. Well, who wants to become an accomplice in a burglary? Yes, who wants to be an accomplice?
Ah! What are you doing? Come here, you... Stay away, you flea bag. Next time I'll wring your neck, even if it costs me my job.
You made yourself an enemy, pup.
Stupid mutt! I'll get you this time. Oh, what the hell? Ah! Ah!
This is my chance. The tennis ball is slit open, and the inside is smeared with grease. No one will ever play tennis with this now. I bet the craftsmen are nearby. If not in the museum, then somewhere around here. A true jack of all trades. What's this? Wow. Nice. I'm afraid the painter discarded the overalls because he didn't want to walk around in sweat-soaked clothes all day. Ugh. But what the heck? I have no choice. A handsome man always looks good, and the disguise works.
Stupid mutt! I'll get you this time! Ugh! It's still burning!
Next attempt.
The museum is closed today. Come back tomorrow. Or are you one of the craftsmen?
Of course I'm a craftsman.
All right. Your company is not on the list.
But it must be on the list. My boss told me everything was taken care of.
And mine told me that nobody gets in if they're not on the list. Bye. Stupid mutt! I'll get you this time!
Ugh! It's still burning!
Weren't you just here?
I talked to my boss again. He said we must be on the list.
Your boss can come and see for himself. There is no Hamids.
Uh-huh.
My co-worker's handwriting. I can hardly make out a single word. Hamids. Ah, yes. Here. Here, put this on.
Ah, many thanks. The author's companion. She seems to be waiting for something. The eye hasn't taken its place in the treasure chamber yet, and I'd better not show my face there. The room is under video surveillance. I better stay away from her. There's always a risk that someone observant might recognize me, and I bet that the lady is a very good observer. Imhotep. All right, I've got the blueprints. And since I'm a craftsman, it won't seem suspicious if I study them. Here's the treasure chamber. There's another room beneath it. And here's the entrance, somewhere near the statue. And there seems to be another entrance that...
What are you doing there?
Huh? Oh, it's you.
What's going on? And what happened on the ship?
I'm supposed to get these blueprints and open a secret entrance to the basement beneath the treasure chamber.
A basement under the treasure chamber?
I didn't know about that before. Inch somehow heard about it, and Mr. X took care of the rest.
What's he planning?
I don't know.
I don't like it.
Me neither. About the ship, I was able to stop the doctor.
What happened to him?
Inch.
You mean he...
There was nothing I could do. The blueprints show the basement below the treasure chamber, and two entrances. One of them is over there, but it seems to be closed.
And the other?
It's on the roof, and there are stairs from an attic down to the basement.
And how are you supposed to get into the attic?
That's the question. There's a small triangle here on the roof with 3 numbers next to it. 3, 6, and 2.
Some kind of code.
I'll have a look around. It'll be okay.
I wish I had your confidence.
It's time for the grand finale. Don't you agree?
Take care of yourself.
You too. A plan always seems much easier when you're just talking about it, doesn't it?
Yes, but not half as exciting.
Okay, I have to open the door to the basement. Let's go. The secret entrance to the basement must be behind the statue. It's well disguised. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone undetected for decades. I can't see anything. No cracks, no handle. The secret blueprints for the museum show a basement below the treasure chamber with 2 entrances. One entrance is in the main hall behind the statue on the wall. The second can be reached via the roof and an attic room. The treasure chamber is down there, and beneath it is the secret basement. The secret passage is somewhere around here on the blueprints. Very good. Maybe this one. Aha! Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha! That's the same triangle as on the blueprints. The numbers 3, 6, and 2 are written next to it. I can't read anything else. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. 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 Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. Huh. Strange. Maybe the order is wrong. Aha. There we go. The digits are written from right to left. In this part of the world, they read from right to left. I'm in the museum. Well, sort of. The electrical cables don't seem like they were meant to be permanent. Probably they secretly tapped the museum's electricity. Could be useful at some point. Old technical equipment. Inch said something about an underground that operated here in the museum during the war. That's tar paper, I think. Maybe it's recovering all those holes in the roof. A big heavy roll. I should be able to remove the insulation with this knife. According to the blueprints, the stairs lead from the attic down to the secret basement. Pitch black in here. Here we go. I think it's nothing. Every time I don't have the knife with me, I need it. Does this mean that I won't need it, since I have it with me this time? The lamp was removed. You can still see the holes that the screws left. The cable was cleanly severed. I removed the insulation and exposed the individual wires. Looks promising. I could connect the cables to each other, but I'd need to strip the insulation from the cables on the wall and the lamp. Okay, plus and minus are exposed. Okay, I'll twist the wires from the lamp cord together with the wires from the electrical cable. Let there be light! Damn! I think the contact is dirty. I was right. The lower contact is coated with rust. The current can't flow properly, and sooner or later the bulb will burn out. Oh. Maybe I can... Yes, I can use it to rub the rust off. That should do it. One more try. There we go. If it wasn't so dusty, I could easily imagine someone had been using it. What kind of stories could this room tell? About desperation, anger, triumph? According to the blueprints, there's supposed to be a secret door here leading into the main hall. Huh, this must be the locking mechanism. Careful now. What are you doing here? What if Inch sees you? No.
I'm sorry. He caught me.
You and your little girlfriend. You thought you could go behind my back?
Inch, no.
You deserve to die, here and now. But then I wouldn't get the eye.
Don't hurt her, please.
We'll see. Get moving.
And now?
Cover to the chair.
No!
Patricia!
No!
Enough! You have one and only one chance of getting out of this alive. Do what I tell you to do. Tie her to the chair.
Please don't hurt her. I beg you.
The handcuffs, now.
You can put the gun down. I won't try anything.
I could choose to believe you, or I could keep the gun pointed at you and know that you won't try anything, if you'd be so kind.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Look at her. Remember this scene? If you try to screw me, then...
What's the next step? What's the plan?
Everything you need is in the bag. The eye will be delivered at any moment. You abseil from the roof into the treasure chamber.
And the display case's alarm system?
The alarm will go off, but I'll ensure that the only effect will be that the security barricades in the treasure chamber close.
How will you manage that?
Let me worry about that, just like the guards. You'll have several minutes to break into the display case and climb back to the roof.
And once I have the jewel, what next? By the time I get back to the roof, the museum will be surrounded by policemen.
Correct. Escaping from the museum is impossible.
That means I stay inside the museum.
There's a bag in the basement with food and water for you and your girlfriend. I'm sure you'll find a way to pass the time for a couple of days. The police will search the whole city for the eye, but not the museum.
And once the museum's open to visitors again, Patricia and I will walk out through the secret door in the main hall to our freedom.
I'll be watching you every step of the way. You'll deliver the jewel, and then we'll never see each other again.
How am I supposed to break into the display case? It's protected by bulletproof glass.
You'll find everything you need in the bag. A clever fellow like you will know what to do with it.
If we do everything you ask, will you let us go?
I'm a poor loser, but a generous winner.
How did you find out about our plan?
By chance, I must admit. I hadn't anticipated it. I didn't think that you'd build up my trust for months just to betray me.
You have to be patient if you want to steal the eyes of the Sphinx.
A virtue youth normally lacks. It's a pity we have to go our separate ways after this little incident.
I can hardly wait. Please let Patricia go. You've got me.
A fascinating young lady. Clever, skillful, beautiful. What's she doing with a chap like you? Are you sure you're not just a pawn in her game?
Let her go.
As soon as you bring me the second eye.
The plan might work, I must admit.
The plan will work. You'll see to that, or she'll suffer the consequences. Let's go. The clock is ticking. I have to take care of the guards and the alarm system.
It'll all work out in the end.
I know. Take care of yourself.
If you should open this door without the Eye of the Sphinx in your bag, I'll shoot first and then ask what went wrong.
You're not planning on letting us go, are you?
I need a scapegoat. Otherwise, the traitor would already be dead.
He doesn't understand because he doesn't think like you.
You messed with the wrong man, and now you have to suffer the consequences.
Climbing equipment, including a rope, a cloth bag. Huh? A pack of gum? Why did Inch put a pack of gum in a cloth bag? That's all. Climbing equipment and a pack of chewing gum. I'm beginning to feel under-equipped for this burglary. Looks like I'll have to improvise. There's nothing else in the bag, and I don't need the bag itself. This is the same climbing equipment that I wore for the burglary in London, only the mask is missing. Does Inch want to make sure that the security cameras can see my handsome face? A good rope, and more than long enough to abseil down into the treasure chamber. I can't stop thinking about her, but I must. I have a job to do, and it won't help either of us if I'm not totally focused. A crank. Something for opening windows that are too heavy to move with your hands. Your new home. That tarp is covering something. Huh. Bucket, rags, squeegee, tools of the trade for window washers. Probably didn't feel like carrying their equipment up to the roof every time, so they stashed it here. I don't need the squeegee. The bucket? Not really. This rag, on the other hand, I could wipe away fingerprints with it. A small cloth bag that can be drawn together at the top. A pack of chewing gum. Huh, my favorite brand. Only one piece left. Ooh, what's this? Unless this is the most expensive chewing gum commercial ever, Inch wanted me to find the diamond. I'm sure it's not a reward for all my hard work. A small rag, maybe for polishing windows? Once the chewing gum loses its flavor, I can wrap it in this and throw it away. The diamond isn't bad. Not flawless, but very big. Would it be good for an engagement ring? Oh, cold, dripping wet. I'm not putting it in my pocket like that. That really isn't my job. That really isn't my job. A small cloth bag. There was a pack of... I can see the treasure chamber. There are several people moving around down there. I think the eye is being delivered. This window can be opened. Must be an entrance for the window washers and maintenance crews when they have to work up here in the cupola. There's a mechanism that opens the window when you turn the crank. I see two contacts down there on the frame. There's a piece of metal stuck between them and fixed to the window. If I open the window, the piece of metal will move, breaking the circuit and setting off an alarm, unless the guards have been notified beforehand, which is hardly an option in my case. I have to bypass the circuit. That really isn't my job. How's that supposed to work? The contacts are on the other side of the... I can't cut any of the windows out of the frame, but this window has a rubber seal on the bottom and the sides. The roof of the museum is now officially drafty. Okay, I'm in. And now back and forth and away we go. Got it. The wet rag is lying on the contacts. Excellent. No alarm. don't see anyone.
Such an attempt would fail here. The display case is bolted to the floor and weighs several hundred kilograms.
What's that? A camera?
The latest model. It's called video surveillance.
I've heard about that. The images are recorded and can be viewed again later.
That's right. Images from all 3 cameras are recorded in the guard room.
Wow.
As I've said, we've spared no effort and no expense.
I think I've seen enough here, but I'm interested in something else.
The camera covers the whole room, and I don't have a mask. Just have to hope that Inch knocked out the guard in the guard room. If not, he'll be on his way to check the camera soon. Here goes nothing. The camera is no longer a threat. Now or never. Someone could come back any moment, and then I'll have another problem. I need to hurry. As a visitor, I'd only have eyes for the jewel. As a burglar, though, I'm more interested in the bulletproof glass, about half an inch thick. There's no glass cutter that could do the job. I'll press the diamond into the chewing gum with the tip towards the window. This cordon doesn't apply to burglars. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. No, no! He wants to lock me in. But why? He doesn't have the jewel yet. What is he? Oh, no. Oh, my head hurts. The sarcophagus protected me from flying debris. The ancient Egyptians knew their stuff. Constable Oliver, he's totally focused on the hole in the floor. Everything's destroyed! Priceless works of art, centuries old! Nothing is sacred to Inch. This is the opposite of a clever burglary. Inch must have decided to do it the violent way as soon as he realized he couldn't count on me. I would have died in the explosion and been the scapegoat.
He's up there, Robert. I know it.
Maybe. Go to the guard room and open the gates.
Tell the director.
Zelna, don't do it. It's too dangerous.
I've got everything under control.
sorry, Constable. He's unconscious. He'll wake up with a headache in a few minutes. There is no other way.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all? Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story. No! Stupid little policeman. He shouldn't have messed with the Raven.
You aren't the Raven! The Raven would never have shot a defenseless old man!
No, he wouldn't have. But now he has. At least that's what everyone will think.
Why does that matter? Who are you?
We worked for him, for the Raven. My brother and I. He's responsible for my brother being shot and for my crippled arm. He sacrificed us.
Who? Who is the Raven?
I don't know. I never met him, and in all these years, I've never found him.
You don't know who you worked for?
No one knows who the Raven is. Some say he's dead. The fact is, he never returned to the stage after that fatal night in Paris.
So you want to lure him out of hiding?
And if anything can, it's the burglary of the century executed by another thief while using his name.
He doesn't come.
But I still got my revenge. The gentleman thief, now a bomb-throwing murderer. Oh, I do hope he is still with us, watching helplessly as I ruin his life's work, as he ruined mine. Enough chatter. I'll be going.
But why?
Your little girlfriend escaped, and if I can't eliminate all the witnesses, I can at least destroy their credibility. Why did you just shoot poor Constable Zellner, lad? They'll hang you and your accomplice. Ha ha ha! You've met your match, Raven. You hear me? Wherever you are, I beat you.
Good evening, Mr. Inch. The eyes of the Sphinx, if you would be so kind.
You? That's impossible!
The jewels, now! Inch, don't move a muscle. You're under arrest. A master thief who stole 2 cheap fakes. and then fell to his death. A shot that no one could explain. But for the newspapers, it was the real jewels that were the heart of the story. The eyes of the Sphinx, reunited in the Egyptian Museum.
What kind of game is this?
The Raven's game.
At least you caught him. Again.
I saw the surprise and the anger in Inch's eyes. He knew he'd been played.
You don't mean...
At first they wanted us to believe that it was Gebhardt. And now we're supposed to believe that it was Inch. He's still out there.
So then, who is the Raven?
Hello there, handsome devil.
Hey there, pretty lady.
Don't! My father will be here any moment.
Did you tell him about our engagement?
She did. I almost slipped out of character.
Oh, Daddy, we all know that would never happen. You were Anton Jakob Zellner through and through, even with the world crashing down around you.
Didn't go too badly, did it?
Well, Inch nearly blew us up, and I was almost charged with murder.
Ah, yes. Exciting, wasn't it? I haven't had fun like that since I retired.
Dr. Gebhardt nearly killed you.
Nobody could have suspected the doctor. At least we managed to clear things up quickly.
I would have preferred it if things went according to the old plan. We would have swapped the jewel aboard the ship, and Alex wouldn't have been kidnapped by Inch.
And I'd have preferred it if you hadn't given me a nasty bump on my noggin.
And what would your excuse have been for staying on board if I hadn't? Hey, I improvised.
Good point.
I was afraid Inch would realize you were wearing a bulletproof vest.
He was too confident. After he foiled your plan, he thought he had everything under control. He never really took a look at the emerald in the display case. He just assumed that they shipped the real jewel from Switzerland.
And after my little tussle with Inch, we had both jewels.
He blew half the museum to smithereens just to steal a fake.
He was always rude and insolent. I never should have worked with him. His double-dealing cost his brother's life.
And his own as well.
I'd still rather see him in jail than in a morgue.
He shouldn't have messed with the Raven.
To your retirement.
To the future.
Finally. Dear Nico, the Raven
is dead. Yet other criminals live, and they are more brutal and ruthless than he ever was. Who will stop them? It would be tragic if a good policeman failed to do so because he was hunting for a dead man and ruining himself in the process. Let the dead rest in peace. They are not coming back.
R.